Hey guys, it's Heather from Kell of a Plan, and today we are talking about before the pen spreads and why before the pen spreads works for me. I want to start out by saying that before the pen spreads do not work for everybody, and that's okay. My number one rule when it comes to planning is do what works for you. If it doesn't work for you, then don't do it. If it does work for you, then don't worry about what anyone else thinks about it. Just do it. Because your planner needs to work for you. Now, I am here explaining this today because I get this question all the time. And so I thought it would be easier if I just had a video that I could direct to people. Because so many times I get questions from newbies that are like, what is a before the pen spread? How do you know what you're going to write in your before the pen spread? How do you know what you're going to do when you're just putting stickers down? It seems like you're just putting stickers down. What's going on? How do you do this? What is happening? Like, people are so confused, especially newbies to planning. And so I just wanted to make this video to explain why before the pen spreads work for me. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. This is why it works for me. So if you don't know what a before the pen spread is, it is what I do every Sunday. I post a video of a before the pen spread in my classic, and on Mondays I post a before the pen spread in my mini. So this is the second half of my current week. My first half is filled out. I'm filming this on Monday, and so what I typically do is I decorate this the week before, and then on Sunday night I fill in the first half of my week, and then on Wednesday night I fill in the second half of my week. So far most of the second half of my week hasn't been filled out yet, except for Saturday morning, because I already know what's happening then. So this is after the pen, this is before the pen, and I get asked all the time, how do you do this? Like, why, or more, why do you do this? Do you know what you're going to write on this checklist? Do you know what you're going to write in this box? Do you know what you're going to write on these bullet points? Or are you just putting stickers down? And so this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about why I do before the pen spreads and how I make them work for me. So the first reason that I do before the pen spreads is because I love color coordinating the stickers and designing a spread. I love designing, and so this makes my heart so happy to pick coordinating colors, to play with the balance of the stickers on the page. I love it. It makes my designing heart so happy. I love to design the pages, and so that's one reason I do it, is because it's just a fun time to decorate and design on my pages. Another reason that I can make before the pen spreads work for me is because I'm very much a techie person. I know I use a paper planner, which some people say is old school, but just because you use a paper planner doesn't mean you can't also be a techie person. Before I quit my job to be a full-time content creator, I was an instructional technology specialist. So I love technology. I'm very used to scheduling things digitally. And so a lot of people will ask, like, where do you write stuff? Like, if your future weeks, that's a sneak peek at next week's spread. If your future weeks don't have anything written on them yet, then how do you know what's gonna go on that week? And my answer is because I put it in my phone calendar. I know a lot of people aren't techie, and that's why you use a paper planner, but I am. And so anything important, upcoming events, things that are due or need to be done, all of that I still put that in my phone calendar, and then I just transfer it to my paper planner, because the act of transferring it and actually writing it helps me to remember it more than just having it in my phone. But I put it in my phone so that I can then transfer it to my paper planner. So that is another way that I make before the pen work for me. I'm also, a question I get all the time is, like, do you know what you're going to write on these checklists? Because I put checklists every single week, and sometimes it is like, oh, a checklist would look good here, so I'm going to put a checklist here. And a lot of people are like, why did you put a checklist there just because it looks good there? Like, what if you don't have anything to put in a checklist? My answer is, I'm a list maker. I love making lists. Sometimes I make lists just to check them off. It could be things I've already done and I just like checking them off. I know that some of you are laughing right now because you're the same. You're like, yes, Heather. Yes. Let's make some lists. I know I'm going to make a list. I'm a list maker. So I could put a checklist on every single day for the rest of eternity, and I would be able to make a list on that list maker, on that checklist, because I'm a list maker, and I've learned that about myself. And so I know no matter where I put a checklist, I'm going to have things that I can write down and check off because I love doing it. That may not work for you. It works for me. So that's why I do it. Another question is the bullet points. Do you know what you're going to write on the bullet points? Sometimes, but not all the time, because again, I'm a list maker. And so for me, bullet points are basically like big lists. Like instead of having 4 things here, I'm going to have 2 big things that need to be done. And then I can check them off on that bullet point when they're done because I'm a list maker. And a bullet point is like anything can be written there. Like you could put anything next to a bullet point. Same with the box. A lot of people are like, do you know what's going to go in the box sticker? Sometimes, but not all the time. Usually I try to put like the big event of the day in the box because I feel like it sticks out more. But anything can go there because your day is going to happen. And no matter what anything you plan for your day can either go on a bullet point, a box, or a checklist. Anything. Like, I can't think of anything that couldn't go in one of those. So for me, I just put it there knowing I am going to have something to write there. And then the days where I know this is going to be a little bit of a slower day, like Friday, that's where I would put a big sticker, especially because here on Friday I have the checklist. So I know I can put 4 things there, and then I have space here, and then this can just be a cute little design. So usually when I put a sticker like this that takes up a lot of room, I know that it's going to be a day that I may not have as much to write. And so I just deal with it. So also, when I sit down to do my before the pen spread, I don't sit down and do it blindly. Like, I'm not just like, let's put stickers on a page. Before I start the video, I look at my phone calendar and I look and say, what do I have coming up this week? What are my big appointments? What are my big to-dos? What are my goals for the week? And I have that in mind when I start putting down stickers. That way I know what days are going to be busy, what days aren't going to be busy, what days already have an event that I know I could use a box sticker on. And I have those in my mind already so that I'm not just blindly putting down stickers. So kind of knowing ahead of time, like the main way your week is going to go also helps, which also ties into, I don't do before the pen spreads really far in advance. Some people sit down and decorate their whole planner for like the whole month or the whole year, like right away. That's not me. I do 1 week at a time. I typically decorate on either Monday or Wednesday of the week before. So this Monday, today, you're not going to see this video. I think this video goes live on Friday or Saturday, but I'm filming it on Monday. And so today I went ahead and filmed next week, sneak peek, next week's before the pen spread. But I don't do it really far in advance because I want to have like a general idea of what my week's going to be like so that I'm not just putting random stickers on a page. I'm doing it with an idea of what my week's going to look like. I also have been planning for 4 years now. This is my 4th year to be using a decorative planner. And so through that time, I have just learned what kind of planner I am. And that I think that's one thing that's really important is you have to learn as you go. I have learned that I'm a list maker. I have learned that I love colorful boxes. I have learned that I love bullet points. I've learned that about myself. So as you're planning, pay attention to what you're doing. Did you like it? Did it work for you? Did it not work for you? Because then as you go, you're going to have a better idea of how you can decorate your planner to make it work for you as you learn what kind of planner you are. If you're a newbie, you may not know that right away. So 1 week you might put a lot of checklists and then you might realize, I don't like checklists. That didn't work for me. And so don't do that again. 1 week you might put a lot of bullet points and realize, I didn't like that. So don't do it again. But also pay attention to what you did like so that you can be sure to incorporate that again in future spreads as well. Another reason I do before the pen spreads is because I love comparing what the spread looked like before the pen and what it looked like after the pen. It's funny because a lot of times when I'm done making a spread with just stickers, I won't really like it that much. I'll be like, it's not one of my favorites. But then by the end of the week, once I've added my plans in there, I love it. And I'm like, this is amazing. And so I just really love to see what it looks like before my pen and after my pen. Sometimes I like it more before the pen. Sometimes I like it more after the pen. And I just really enjoy that process. I also, the way I plan, I talked about this earlier, is on Sundays, I typically fill out Monday through Wednesday. And then on Wednesdays, I typically fill out Thursday through Sunday. But even on Wednesday night, I may not have an exact idea yet of what we're doing Saturday and Sunday. I may have like the big events written in, but I may not know the small things yet. And so I could never decorate and plan as I go and still be able to share with you guys. Because if I decorated and planned as I went, then it would be like, I'm going to decorate Monday and Tuesday and a little bit of Wednesday, and I'm going to write in it. And then a couple of days later, I'll decorate and write in Thursday and Friday, and then I'll do, and it would just be like this long process, because that's just not how I plan. And so that is another reason I do before the pin spreads, because it's really easy for me to teach y'all how to do it before the pin, and then to show a picture on Instagram at the end of the week showing you how I filled in my plans. So that's another reason that I do before the pin, because I can decorate the whole thing, and then as it works out throughout the week and as I figure out all of my plans, I just fill it in as I go, so that it's not like sit down on Sunday and fill out your whole week. Because if I were to sit down on Sunday and fill out my whole week, things would change before the end of the week, and then it would drive me crazy, because then I have something in my planner that's not true and I got to cross it out or I got to cover it up, and that would just drive me crazy. And so for me, I fill it in as I go. So this part is filled in. Honestly, Wednesday night, I'll probably do like Thursday and Friday. And then like Thursday or Friday is when I usually start filling in Saturday and Sunday, once I talk to Matthew and get a better idea of what we're going to be doing that weekend. So that's kind of my thought process behind before the pin spread, why I do it, why it works for me. Again, before the pin does not work for everybody. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. Find what does work for you and do it. And if it does work for you, then be proud of it. I'm proud that before the pin works for me. And when other people like question it or say I can't figure that out or that would never work for me, I'm just like, okay, cool. That's great, but it works for me. And so that's why I do it. So, but I hope that you hearing like my thought process behind before the pin spreads maybe helps you to kind of grasp it a little bit better. So I hope this video helps. I would love to know what kind of planner you are. So in the comments, tell me if you do before the pin, or if you plan as you go, or if you do stickers and pin at the same time. I'd love to know, just to kind of get an idea of what kind of planners watch these videos. I'd love to know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. If you want to support my channel, be sure to check out the Patreon link in the description, and happy planning!